This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Welcome to Super Bowl week. Now, Super Bowl week may be interesting to some of you and maybe not that interesting to a lot of you, but I wanted to run down a couple of my favorite games, football games. If you're a board gamer and you like sport games, you just might like some of these games, even if you're not a fan of sport games. Now, at number 5 is two-door football. It's electric football, basically. I love this game. I love what they've done with it. They give you the stadium feel. You can control. The old way, you would just turn it on and just watch things go flying in the air. It now has better control. And now it's licensed through the NFL, and they have all the teams that you want to play. And now you can build a stadium around it. And you can control the movement, which is really cool. So it could be very quiet, or it could be, well, it's not as loud as it used to be, but it's still just a fun game. And especially with the app that you can have for a scoreboard, I really enjoy this, and it's fun for everybody. You don't have to be a football fan. At number 4, one of my favorite football games of all time is actually a fantasy game, and that is Blood Bowl. First of all, I love Blood Bowl, and I love how it's just a fantastic game. It's kind of derivative of football, but it also has a different type of feel to it. Of course, it's unbelievably violent, but the leagues and building your team and making sure your 11 players survive to move on, well, that's a whole story into itself. At number 3 is a game that I absolutely love because of how historic it is, and that's Stratomatic football. There are so many different versions of it. Avalon Hill did a Stat Pro football, and I'm going to kind of combine all those together because they were just fun, and you had to use your imagination and all the different players and come together. It wasn't fancy, the graphics weren't great, but it was the best way to play football without having to put on your sneaks and cleats and run out in the backyard in the middle of winter and play in the snow, where I originally came up north. It has a very sentimental spot for me, so I really enjoy that game. At number 2 is a game that, shockingly or not, has just been re-released, a little bit different, but I gotta combine these two together, and that's First and Goal and First and Roll. First and Roll is the newest edition of it, where you only have a set number of dice, and it more or less becomes a bluffing game. Am I going to run? Am I going to pass? Am I going to throw long, medium, or what? And you're going to hide that die in your hand, and then your opponent is going to say, as far as defense, and try to guess what you're doing. And then you're both going to roll off. And usually if you guess correct, you're going to be able to stop them. If you guess incorrectly, well, they're going to hit you for a big play. It plays out perfectly. I got to play this at BGG Con, and I cannot speak enough of it. First and Goal has all different teams with different dies. Now, the thing about it is, and you're going to use a play on your card, and then you're going to roll those particular dice. The person against you is going to pick a certain defense on their cards, and what they're going to do out of their hand, then they're going to say, well, I think he's going to pass here, and that's going to eliminate certain dice, and you can cross-reference the cards. It was really amazing, and all the different teams were differently balanced. Some teams were heavy passing teams, some were heavy run, some were balanced, some were not good at running, some were just mediocre offense and better at different things, and it gave some variety. But at times I felt it would be kind of unbalanced. But this latest edition I really like, but it still is my number 2 football game of all time. Number 1, I feel particularly proud about this one because when the Kickstarter went up all those years ago, I saw this game and I asked if I could interview him, and we got a chance, and we really promoted the heck out of this game. And I was so happy that when it funded, and Brent Spivey is probably one of the most ingenious men I ever met. First of all, he has a commentator's voice, which he should just commentate his game all day long. And that is Techno Bowl. Is the greatest football game ever made. And I'm telling you right now, I enjoy this game. I love this game. I don't get it to the table as much as I would like to because I need another player. But when I do, I'm telling you, there is no game better. It is so well thought out, and it has the feel of real football. You can make your own team. If you have a favorite team, the blocks that you make, you cut out, and you can make all 32 teams. And the gameplay is just fantastic. And the games are always so close. They come right down to the end, and it's just making one wrong decision could cost you a game. Techno Bowl is surely the greatest football board game ever made, and I will scream that to the high heavens. Maybe you don't agree with this list. Maybe there are other things. I know people like pizza box football, but these are games that mean something to me. And it just, if we had a top 10, it'd probably be there. But honestly, these are my games. And Techno Bowl is the very best. If you don't have it, find it. You can find it, or write Brent Spivey, and he'll be more than happy to help you. And we'll put in the information where you can get a hold of him and hopefully get a copy of this, because this is a game that will not disappoint. I guarantee it. All right, there you go. We've said it all. We've done it all. And until next time, I hope you enjoy this list. Please leave me your comments and let me know who you think. And of course, let me know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.